Most parents don't realize that one of the most common ways they try to comfort their toddler is actually teaching their child's brain that the world is unsafe without constant parental presence. This isn't about being too loving or too attentive. It's about a specific response pattern that happens dozens of times a day in caring homes, and it's creating the exact clinginess that exhausts and worries parents most. If your toddler follows you from room to room, panics when you step away for even a moment, or seems unable to play independently for more than a few seconds, this video will help you understand what's happening in their developing brain and what you can do differently starting today. Before we go further, you need to know that you have not damaged your child. The behavior we're going to discuss comes from deep love and protective instinct. It's what most caring parents do naturally. It feels right in the moment, and you cannot have known that it was creating a pattern your child's nervous system would interpret as a signal of danger, rather than safety. Clingy toddler behavior looks like a child who cannot tolerate any physical separation from their primary caregiver. They cry when you leave the room. They demand to be held constantly. They become distressed if you're out of sight even briefly. They struggle to engage with toys or activities unless you're immediately beside them. They may wake frequently at night, needing your presence to return to sleep. This is not manipulation. This is not a personality flaw. This is not evidence of poor parenting or a spoiled child. This is a nervous system response. Your toddler's brain has learned a pattern, and that pattern is driving the behavior you're seeing. Here is the mistake. When your toddler shows even mild signs of distress or discomfort, you immediately rush in to prevent the feeling from growing. You pick them up the second they seem uncertain. You intervene in their play before they've encountered any real challenge. You stay constantly close to prevent any moment where they might feel unsure or need to call for you. You rescue them from minor frustrations before they've had any chance to work through the difficulty themselves. This feels loving because it is loving. Your instinct is to protect your child from any unnecessary suffering. You think you're providing security by ensuring they never feel alone or overwhelmed. You believe you're building trust by always being immediately available. From your perspective, you're being responsive and attuned. But here is what neuroscience tells us about how the toddler brain learns safety. The developing nervous system does not learn that the world is safe by never encountering challenge or brief discomfort. It learns safety by experiencing small amounts of manageable uncertainty, while a calm caregiver remains available nearby but not immediately intervening. The pattern that builds confidence is this: I feel slightly uncomfortable. I manage it for a moment. I realize I'm okay, and help is available if I truly need it. When we prevent this pattern by rescuing before any discomfort occurs, the child's brain learns a different message. It learns that the parent's constant immediate presence is necessary for safety, that any moment without that presence is potentially dangerous, that the child does not have capacity to manage even brief uncertainty on their own. The nervous system interprets the parent's constant rushing in as confirmation that the world requires constant vigilance and immediate rescue. Research shows that children need repeated experiences of tolerable challenge followed by successful resolution to build what developmental psychology calls secure base behavior. A secure base means the child can explore, play, and tolerate brief separations because their nervous system has learned through experience that they are fundamentally safe and that their caregiver will return. When we overfunction by preventing all discomfort, we accidentally prevent the brain from building this secure base. Instead, we create what looks like anxious attachment, where the child cannot feel safe unless the parent is immediately present and actively preventing all challenge. Here is the specific mechanism. Your toddler reaches for a toy that's slightly out of reach. Before they've even tried to problem solve, you hand it to them. Their nervous system registers. I needed help immediately. I could not do this myself. The world requires constant assistance. This happens 20 times a day, 30 times a day. The pattern gets wired into their developing brain. Or your toddler plays with blocks and one falls. Before they can react, you rebuild it and redirect them to something easier. Their brain learns. Challenges are emergencies that require adult intervention. I don't have capacity to handle difficulty. I need someone to fix problems for me constantly. Or you're cooking and your toddler plays nearby. They look around for you. Before they can even call out or feel any real concern, you stop what you're doing and reassure them or pick them up. Their nervous system learns. Brief separation is dangerous. I cannot tolerate moments without immediate contact. My parents' anxiety about my distress confirms this feeling is an emergency. From a developmental perspective, the child is not learning that you are reliable and they are safe. They are learning that safety requires your constant immediate presence because every time they might have discovered they could manage a moment of uncertainty, you prevented that discovery. The clinginess you're experiencing is not affection or strong attachment. It is anxiety. Their nervous system has been trained to believe that they cannot function without you immediately beside them because they have never had the opportunity to learn otherwise. This creates a cycle. The clingier they become, the more you feel you must stay close to comfort them. The more you stay close and prevent all discomfort, the more their brain confirms that your presence is essential for survival. The pattern reinforces itself.
Here is what to do instead. First, when your toddler encounters a small challenge, pause before intervening. Count to 10 in your head. Give them the space to notice the problem, to try something, to feel brief frustration, and to either solve it themselves or to clearly ask for help. Your job is to remain calm and available nearby, not to prevent the challenge from existing. Second, practice brief separations throughout the day in very small increments. You move to the other side of the room while they play. You step into the next room for 30 seconds while narrating what you're doing. You allow them to experience moments where you are not immediately visible, but you are still available. You return calmly before they escalate into true distress. Over time, their nervous system learns that brief separation is not dangerous, that you return, and that they can manage short periods independently. Third, when your toddler is doing something independently, resist the urge to constantly engage, praise, or redirect. Your calm, quiet presence nearby is enough. Let them practice focusing on their own activity without needing your active participation. This teaches their brain that they can sustain attention and interest without requiring your constant input. The key in all of this is your own nervous system state. If you are anxious about stepping back, if you hover with worried energy, if your body language communicates concern about their ability to manage, their brain will read that as confirmation of danger. Your calm confidence that they can handle brief challenge or brief separation is what allows their nervous system to learn safety. From a neuroscience perspective, mild discomfort is not harmful to your toddler. It is necessary. The brain builds resilience, confidence, and secure attachment specifically through experiences of encountering manageable difficulty and discovering internal and external resources for managing it. When we prevent all discomfort, we prevent the neural pathways for competence and confidence from forming. Your toddler does not need you to prevent all challenge. They need you to remain calm and available while they encounter age-appropriate challenge. They need to learn through repeated experience that they have some capacity, that brief uncertainty is tolerable, that you trust them to manage small difficulties, and that help is available when truly needed but not constantly imposed when not needed. This does not mean ignoring genuine distress. This does not mean leaving your child to struggle with something truly beyond their developmental capacity. This means calibrating your response so that you are supportive without being preemptive. You respond to their signals rather than preventing any signal from occurring. The confidence your child needs develops from discovering their own capacity. Every time you step back and allow them to try, to struggle briefly, to succeed, or to genuinely ask for help, you are building the neural architecture for independence and secure attachment. Every time you rush in before they've had that chance, you reinforce the pattern that creates clinginess. Change will not happen overnight. Your toddler's nervous system has learned the current pattern through thousands of repetitions. It will take time and consistency for new patterns to form. You will see testing. You may see increased distress initially as they adjust to the new response. This is normal. Their brain is recalibrating. Stay consistent with calm, supportive presence that allows them space to develop their own capacity. You are capable of this change. Your toddler is capable of developing confidence and secure independence. The clinginess you are experiencing is not permanent. It is a learned nervous system response, and learned patterns can be gently reshaped through new experiences that teach the brain a different message about safety, capacity, and connection. Start small. Choose one area where you will practice pausing before rescuing. Notice your own impulse to intervene and breathe through it. Trust that brief challenge is not harmful. Trust that your calm presence nearby is powerful even without constant action. Watch as your toddler begins to discover what they can do when given the space to try.